year, fires occurring during the holiday season claim the lives of over 400 Americans, injure 1,600 more, and cause over $990 million in damage. But there are simple life-saving tips that you can take to ensure that you have a very safe and happy holiday. Frank Ault is the chairman for the board of San Diego Regional Fire Foundation. He's here to give us some of those tips. Good morning.
Good morning, Kristen, and I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you.
And, you know, when you look at fire safety over the holidays, you have to remember that fun and family come first.
Sure.
But you have to do it in a very sensible way. And many of the things that you deal with are no different than you do every day. Most of your kitchen preparation is very much the same. There are some unique things. Christmas trees. We clearly do not have Christmas trees in our home every day. So what do you do when you look to get a Christmas tree? Clearly, the fresher that tree is, the better. So if you can get one that has just been cut, it is very green, very healthy, and very less likely to catch fire.
Plus, it looks better, so it's a win-win.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, a lot of them that come in from the lots, you know, have been cut a month in advance and kept ready. But make sure that you have one that's well done. When you get it, cut off the last few inches so that you have some fresh wood, and then keep it in water. Just make sure it is always in water. It absorbs it, keeps it fresh longer. But also, where you place it in the house is very important. Obviously, you don't place it next to a fireplace if you're going to have a live fire. But more importantly, if you look at where your heaters are. If you have a heater that's a floor heater and you have it above that, that tree's going to dry out very quick.
Sure.
In spite of the water. You also look at where it's located from the perspective of children and animals. Animals, cats, love to climb trees. And you can easily have it knocked over if it falls over. You know, it can hit something that could ignite a candle that you might have in a part of the room, etc. So really, placement is something you really have to think about. And if you're going to leave the room and you have the tree there and you have kids and dogs, try to have it in a place you can close the room so that somebody isn't getting into it when you're not watching.
Sure, that's a good point, especially pets. You don't want dogs around the trees knocking it over, and that can be very dangerous. During the holidays, a lot of people use candles. You have a couple candles here. I know when they set the table, candles are everywhere, but there are safer candles to use than others, right?
Well, clearly, you know, it's interesting. Unfortunately, there's about 12,000 fires related to Christmas every year nationally. And candles are the biggest source of those fires. So when you have a candle, think about where you're placing it and think about what type you have. Clearly, like the red one that's tall and thin, it looks beautiful, but you have an open flame. Somebody can knock it over very easily or come across it, and you can have a fire. If you have a candle that's inside of a vessel, like a hurricane lamp, it's much safer. You're not going to hit it, the flame stays lower, but it still can be very pretty. You decorate it as we have with this particular one. And so the other key thing with candles, not only is the placement, but when you leave a room, you go to bed at night, make sure you have them all out.
Sure.
Even I have woken up in the morning and said, oh my gosh, I left it on. Now, it's this kind of candle, you know, more likely to survive, but you still really have to think about the safety of candles. And don't put them in a window where you have a curtain. I mean, clearly, or next to your Christmas tree or anything like that.
Okay, extension cords, obviously something that a lot of people use when they hang up their lights, either on the tree or outside their house. What are some of the dangers that we can see associated with those?
Well, interesting, the biggest danger with hanging your lights and all your decorations are people falling.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, there are 2 to 3 falls per hour in the United States over the holiday season from just decorating.
I hope my brothers are listening, because they climb up on the 3rd level of the house, and they're all the way up there, and it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is. But when you're putting lights outside, you have to make sure they're outdoor lights. You don't want to use lights that are only rated for indoors. You get rain, you get weather, and you can easily have a short and a fire. But also you want to make sure that the cord you have is a very safe cord. No frayed wires, the connection is very solid, and you know, if you've got a cable extension cord you're using that's got loose wires and frayed, don't use it. It's better to spend a few dollars and buy a brand new set of extension cords than to use one that will start a fire. But another common thing that people do, you know, they're decorating, they don't like these cords visible. They like to put them under a rug or something. Well, first of all, if you have a short in it at all, your carpet's going to start burning because you've got it right on top of the material. Also, if you put it under a carpet that is a built-in one, you'll have tacks. and those tacks can break through, and when people walk over, go through it, short it out.
There you go. Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining us today. Very useful tips, and I think you said it best in the beginning. The holidays are all about family and friends, and we just want everyone to stay safe.
Yeah, and with the Fire Foundation, what we're really doing with the fire departments is trying to give them the equipment to help when those fires occur. So when you have a fire in your home, get out. Get the family out, then call 911. We're out there purchasing thermal imaging cameras, about $9,000 each, but they'll go in a home if you have a fire. And if your children are in a bedroom or something, what are they going to do? They're going to get up? No, they're going to hide.
Sure.
Under the bed, in the closet. These cameras can go in and find where people are through the smoke. They're a great tool, but they're expensive, and we have already bought 6 out of the 9 that we've been requested, and we're working on that right now, and your viewers, of course, can help.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you, Kristen, and everybody have a safe holiday.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.